Oh. Good morning, everybody. I'm Sinead Norton, founder of Mums at Work, and today I am chatting with one of our VIP members, Joanne Nash. How are you, Joanne? You're very welcome here. Thank you for joining me.
I'm very well, Sinead. Thank you very much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about you.
So I am Joanne Nash. First and foremost, mommy to two boys and wife. But I am a sobriety coach. So I run the Sober Coach, which is the main aim of the Sober Coach is to help women, mainly women, who kind of struggle with their relationship with alcohol. So they don't identify with a label of being dependent on alcohol or alcoholic. It's kind of a grey area. So where maybe alcohol has become a bit more of a habit, or it's just too frequent and the hangovers is getting longer. So I just work with women to help them break that cycle and change their relationship with alcohol. So that could be that they end up really reducing their alcohol intake in the long term, or give it up altogether. And it's based on my own story. I gave it up 3 years ago and it's the best decision I ever made. So I wanted to help others do the same.
So you started your own business based on your own experience, yes. Joanne?
Yes.
So tell me about your business.
I work mainly one-to-one with clients. It can be from a 4-week session, like 4 weekly sessions or 4 fortnightly sessions, or maybe 6 weeks or 12 weeks, basically however long the client wants. But basically we work one-to-one, and what we work through is trying to change the mindset around alcohol, looking at the habits, looking at the beliefs we have around alcohol, and especially putting in plans in place for when there are occasions coming up. Because as we know, alcohol is everywhere. It's so normalized in society. And if we say we're not drinking, we're questioned. As the saying goes, it's the only drug you have to justify not taking, because it's just so normal to take it. So it's really working with clients to kind of come up with plans on how to navigate nights out, because life goes on and you can have a very good and enjoyable life without alcohol, but it's just kind of finding ways around that. So then also kind of outside our one-to-one sessions, so we would do, I'm a lover of worksheets, just kind of working together to start picking through and looking at the kind of pros and cons of your drinking, looking at the beliefs, undoing them, and just finding ways to build up a toolkit, basically, that you can just enjoy life and have tools where you can turn to the tools rather than turn to the alcohol. And then outside of sessions, my clients can message me then when they, obviously not at like 3 a.m, but do you know, if it's the weekend and they're the main trigger times, it's like, Joanne, I'm kind of struggling a bit tonight. So there's that kind of outside session support as well.
I suppose the thing that we don't talk about is that a lot of people are very stressed, and the first thing they do when they come home from work is maybe pour a glass of wine, yeah. And that sometimes can lead to a full bottle, you know, yes. And that has an impact on their productivity, their family life, and the way that they deal with problems in general. So going forward, Joanne, if you had to say who you wanted to work with in the future, the majority of people, I assume, would be women, wouldn't it?
It is. It's women, and it's mainly working women that are trying to balance kind of many roles. So like you say, it's kind of coming in, you're working all week, and then you're coming in and you have to put the mommy hat on, and then you have more, and it just seems to be pressure. So it's a lot of kind of mums using alcohol to switch off that mommy mode and just kind of get times to themselves, but it can end up a vicious cycle.
I can imagine that. And so your customers, they may not want to say that they're coming forward. It's completely confidential, isn't it, Joanne?
100% completely confidential, because I have some counselling skills training, but I'm a certified life coach, but I'm a certified professional recovery coach as well. And that is first and foremost because of the shame and the stigma still attached in and around this area. It stops a lot of people reaching for help. So confidentiality is 100% kind of first and foremost. I want to provide that safe environment where people can come to me and feel safe. I talk openly about mine, but that's to kind of help break the stigma. But anything that's shared with me in session is within session.
I suppose it's a case of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you're not out drinking with your friends, they're labeling you as that person who doesn't want to have fun. And then at the same time, you know, you don't want people to know that you've got this dependency, even though you may not even recognize that you've got it yourself. It's not something that you've admitted to yourself. Never mind to the outside world. So there is a lot of shame, no matter which way that people go. And I think that's a lot to do with society. You know, I personally can't drink soup. So, you know, it's a bad idea to drink a lot because I wouldn't have much of a life, you know. And so I suppose some people, you know, they start off with maybe one glass. The next thing you know, it's a regular thing where they're stopping off at the off license. Somebody once said that the most profitable business would be a drive-through off license because it, you know, would be so easy for people just to drive through and pick up their alcohol on the way home from work.
And because it is so normalized and everybody does it, that's what can kind of keep people stuck. And people think, but I don't have an issue. And what I would say is, if you have that feeling or thought within yourself where you think, like, there doesn't have to be a rock bottom. If you think, man, there has to be more to life than these hangovers, and it's really impacting my work, my family life, then it is okay to change something about it. And that's where even the challenges like Dry January and things like that, they're a good insight. They're a good first step, because nobody wants to stay forever. And nobody knows what way the journey will go, but it's just kind of taking the initial steps. And I think with things like Dry January, that can help in scenarios with your friends. So when people's kind of putting pressure on you to drink, you say, no, I'm taking part in the challenge. And you know, and that just kind of gets people off your back a bit. But there's ways. And you know, Sinead, my experience, and I know for a lot of clients I've worked with, it often turns around. So people will go from putting pressure on you and asking you why you're not drinking to telling you, God, I wish I could do that. And they'll start opening up about their own. So it's crazy the change that can come.
So you have a group, don't you, as well now coming up that's for Dry January?
Yes. So I'm running a Dry January challenge. We officially kicked off yesterday, but the doors are still open, because I know there's a lot of memes kind of going around, especially in terms of diet. Let's start Monday, because the 1st of January was a Saturday. So the doors are still open. But basically, it is just a private Facebook group. So I post in there every day for kind of tips and support. And people can post for support within that group. I do a daily check-in as well. And then once a week, I'm going to just run like a Zoom call, or I can do a Q&A. It's basically whatever anybody needs. But there's 12 of us in the group so far, and it's lovely. It's just, we're there to encourage each other and help each other through and cheer each other through it, because it's a big goal, like, and it's a really good milestone to achieve, and it's not easy done. So
especially not after Christmas and New Year.
Exactly.
I'm going to share my screen now and just take people to your landing page there, and that's where people can sign up now for your challenge. And I post this link as well so that people can take part if they want to, and join in whenever they feel that the need is there. So that's where we're going to send people to, so that they can sign up.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much for spending this time with me and sharing your story and telling us all about that. I'm sure there are so many people who can resonate with your purpose, you know, and the aim of your business.
Yeah.
And I post the links as well into the post so that people can see it. And if you're a Mums at Work VIP member who wants to take part in a chat like this, just send me a PM, or if you want to find out more about membership, just let me know. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sinead.